This is The Wizard of Oz. Once upon a time, there was a little girl from Kansas named Dorothy. She lived with her Aunt May and her Uncle Henry and her little dog Toto. One day on their farm, a terrible tornado hits and lifts Dorothy's house, and it lands over the rainbow in a magical realm called Oz. Her house, however, lands on the nefarious Wicked Witch of the East, and the Munchkins who live there are overjoyed with Dorothy's presence. She also meets the Good Witch of the North, Glenda, who gives Dorothy the ruby slippers that once belonged to the Wicked Witch of the East. This angers the Wicked Witch's sister, the Wicked Witch of the West, and she tries to harm Dorothy. The Good Witch tells Dorothy that to get home, she must meet with the wonderful Wizard of Oz to help her get back to Kansas, and that he lives in the Emerald City. To get to the Emerald City, she must follow along the yellow brick road. While on the yellow brick road, she meets the Scarecrow, whose life desire is to have a brain. Therefore, Dorothy invites him to accompany her on her journey. While on the journey, they meet the Tin Man, who wants a heart, so he goes with them to the Emerald City. Also joining the pack is the Cowardly Lion, who wants courage. Once the four companions reach the Emerald City, they meet with the wizard, who demands that the four of them bring him the broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the West, and that he'll grant them their wishes. While entering the Wicked Witch's land, Dorothy and her dog are captured by the witch's henchmen, flying blue-faced monkeys, and are taken back to the witch's castle, where she threatens to kill Toto unless Dorothy gives her the ruby slippers. Luckily, Toto escapes, and him, the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow go to rescue Dorothy. Once inside the castle, they free Dorothy, but are later confronted by the Wicked Witch of the West, where she sets the Scarecrow ablaze, and Dorothy puts him out by throwing a bucket of water on him, extinguishing him. However, some of the water lands on the Wicked Witch, which causes her to melt, killing her. They take her broom back to the wizard, where he refuses to grant their wishes. However, they expose him for a fraud, in which he admits that he is a bad wizard, but a very good man, in which he gives the Scarecrow a brain, the Tin Man a heart, and the Lion courage. Him and Dorothy's plan was to go back to Kansas via a hot air balloon. However, he accidentally takes off with the hot air balloon, leaving Dorothy and Toto behind. Dorothy now feels like she'll never get back to Kansas, but then the Good Witch of the North shows up and tells Dorothy that she had the power all along. She tells her to click her heels together 3 times and say the phrase, "There's no place like home." Dorothy then finds herself back in Kansas, reunited with her family. The end.